Step 1, it's going to ask us to input our name, which we'll do. And it's going to bring us right in to the class here, and you'll want to sign in a few minutes before class starts. The first thing we want to cover is the audio setup. The vast majority of the time, this microphone over here is going to appear black. And that's because the instructor is going to be talking most of the time, and you're not going to be. You're going to be listening. However, occasionally, he will enable your audio for various reasons. Maybe you'll have a discussion, or maybe you have a question, or maybe you're going to demonstrate something for the class, in which case your microphone is going to turn either red or green. If it's red, and that turns it on. If that doesn't work for some reason, you have audio settings here up to the right. You can see I have my USB mic selected here, and that's just the way. If you have a headset, you can select headset, and so on. You should definitely be wearing headphones when you're doing Dojo University, because otherwise you can have feedback. So make sure you have headphones, and if you're getting the training emails, you'll know that's a high priority. So now I think Carl can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me there, Carl. Yeah, he's not going to be saying anything for the purposes of this training, at least at the moment. So once the audio is set up, you can imagine a class going on, and Carl could be demonstrating things and talking, and he could do a couple other things too. Like, Carl, why don't you bring up the whiteboard here? There's a whiteboard, and he can even add music to the whiteboard. Notice how I can drag this around. I can put it anywhere on my space that I want. I can also make it bigger if I need to. You can see it's possible to doodle on the music as well. You could draw shapes. You could do a whole bunch of stuff. Go ahead and close that down there, Carl. Another scenario that's quite possible is the instructor will show his or her screen. So why don't you just show it quickly? You don't need to show anything, Carl. Just show us how that's possible. Yep, so you can see his desktop there. We can play World of Tanks, it looks like, if we want. Go ahead and exit out of that, Carl. So that's no problem. Here we are back in the main screen. All right, let's say the lecture is going on and we want to give feedback of some kind. We have a feedback button up here. It's right above, right here in the top left corner. There's a lot of feedback options. One of the cool features here is we can say yes or no to the instructor. For example, if the instructor says, "Are you ready to move on?" we can say yes. If we do that, you can see over by our name, a little green guy pops up. We could say no. Then we get a little red guy over there. We can skip raise hand for now. Let's try speak louder. You can see we have a little volume indicator. So on and so forth. You can also tell the instructor to speed up or slow down. The last thing, which is probably the most important feature, is that you can raise your hand at any point if you have a question. And you'll see I have a little yellow guy with a hand raised over here. Carl, why don't you show me what you might do if you had a student who raised his hand? Maybe Carl just asked for someone to volunteer to demonstrate something. He can actually turn on my webcam and show me to the class while I demonstrate something. So you can see Carl's gone in the main screen, and now I would be in the main screen for everybody else, and I can monitor myself here. I can also pause my camera if I don't want people to see me for any reason or anything like that, but here I am, and I could talk, I could ask a question, and more realistically, I could play something, and people could see me and hear me while I did that. And then Carl could switch back over to him when he's ready to reply to what I just did. So there's Carl again. Took a second for my mic to come back on, but there it is. So now Carl's back. And those are the main basics there of the feedback option and the possibilities of playing. Last thing to mention here would be the chat window. I could say, "Hey, Carl," and you see my chat comes up. And this is public, under the public chat here. Carl can say hi. I can also, if I left-click on anybody's name, I can private chat with them. So I could say, "Carl, the instructor's on fire today." And only Carl is going to see that. So maybe you have a buddy or a study partner or something in the class and you want to chat with them privately. And that's entirely possible. So that is a quick tour of Dojo University. Of course, we'll get a chance to orient you a little bit, I guess I should say, to the software when we first start in the class. But this is a training preview for you. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you around Dojo University.